everybody. This is your Bahrain Grand Prix Fantasy Review, brought to you by Fox Blockhead. 2021 Formula One has started with a bang. What a bang-up race. I don't know how else to describe it. An amazing race. We have Verstappen on pole. We had Hamilton taking the victory. So who won the fantasy battle for round one? It was Hamilton. 45 points, taking it out. Verstappen second on 35. Bottas third on 32 points. That's how they finish the race. That's how they get their fantasy points. Mercedes with the top team on 67. Bottas picking up a bonus 5, which is included in the 32 for his fastest lap. Check it out. So the bonus Bahrain fantasy driver results look like this. And you'll notice a few numbers are highlighted up there. That's because they are above the, well, not really above the average. They're the top results. So George Russell, Mick Schumacher, and Yuki Tsunoda all having really good value for money this particular race, with Lando Norris taking out the top value pick, 2.2 points per $1 million. Pretty good, but lots of those drivers in the top, what are we, top 7, all above 1. So lots of value there. Of course, Alonso Mazepin down the bottom didn't finish the race, so minuses for them. Over to the constructors' results, we have Mercedes taking it out. Red Bull, McLaren in third with 2.06 top value for this race. Red Bull just behind. Just about everyone there above 1 point per million. Alpine, and Williams with AlphaTauri just getting over there. Aston Martin just getting over the 1 because of their results. But there you go. If you're looking for people, drivers, teams to draft into your team, check out those results, the values up there. Here we go, Bahrain Grand Prix Dream Team. If you had this team right here, including Norris as your turbo, you would have scored 196 with a team value of 98.9. Raikkonen, Schumacher, Tsunoda, Norris and Bottas with Mercedes as your team. They were the dream team for this race. Now, if you have a look at the worldwide standings, there are some players, some people fantasy playing that have a bigger score than 196. That's because they had their mega driver in there, so they might have had Hamilton in with a triple score for this particular race. So these results will only take into account the turbo and a regular team less than $1 million. So if you hang on to your team for the whole season, you could potentially have more than $1 million to spend. So you might get more than this, but that is my dream team. If you think there's a better dream team from Bahrain, let me know in the comments. The dud team now. This is what I also do in these videos. I show you the dream team. I show you the dud team. If you had this team here, Giovinazzi, Gasly, Latifi, Alonso, Mazepin, and Williams as your team, you would have only spent $53.5 million. So you would have had a lot of money left to spend on a good driver. But anyway, you would have ended up with minus 8 points for your efforts. If you put Mazepin as your turbo for some reason, bit of a dud weekend for him as a rookie, but I'm sure he'll have better weekends, although in a Haas, not so sure. Here we go to the constructors' bonus chance. Now for the drivers, they need to have 5 races in a row, starting or finishing in the top 10. So I figured I'd wait a couple of weeks just to see who's going to actually be consistent there before I talk about them. Constructors, though, they only need 3 weeks, but they need both of their drivers qualifying top 10 or finishing top 10. So for starters, we have Ferrari, McLaren and Mercedes who have both of their drivers qualifying top 10. Bahrain, Portugal is when we're looking ahead for their bonus points. And then in the race, Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren and Mercedes, they both had 2 drivers top 10 finishes, with Portugal again being the potential for a bonus 10. Check this channel, this YouTube channel. I'll keep letting you know who's in for a shot with those bonuses as we go through. Driver standings now, after 1 race, it's going to be the same as Bahrain because we've only had 1 race. These prices here, I'm going to grab the prices on qualifying, so when they get locked for a particular race, that's going to show you the change between race to race. So you'll see how we go there with the little green-red arrow, or a no change at all. And then the value, their value over the course of the season based on their latest price record? Yeah. So at the moment, Norris and Tsunoda, no brainers in your team, but both their values are going up. So if you wait too long, you might have to buy them at a more expensive price. If you had them for Bahrain, could potentially sell them. So if they have a dud week, pick them back up at a cheaper price, pocket the extra dollars. That could be cool. The bottom 10 now, and as you would expect, Mazepin, Alonso, both with red arrows. Stroll and Ocon, people thought they'd start all right. Didn't have the best of races. Ocon getting run into by Vettel. Bomber. The constructors' standings here, Mercedes dropping a tiny bit since the Formula One game opened. That's because they are priced at so high. Red Bull jumping up a little bit. McLaren holding steady. I would expect that to bump up just a little bit as we go through the season. We have Ferrari jumping up as well. AlphaTauri jumping up. Tsunoda showing his mettle. Only the first race of the season, though. We'll see how we go. Oh, and I forgot to highlight that one. I have to remember to do that for the next one. Here we go with the driver battles. So in qualifying, we have Verstappen, Hamilton, Leclerc, Ricciardo, Gasly, Giovinazzi, Russell, Alonso, Stroll, and Schumacher all taking a lead in the qualifying battle head-to-head with their teammate, gaining those qualifying points. And then in the race, few similar names here, but a couple of switches. Raikkonen taking it out, Tsunoda taking it out, Ocon taking it out. But the rest, I think, Norris beating Ricciardo in the race, getting his elbows out on lap 1, with Verstappen, Hamilton, and Leclerc all taking the race points as well for beating their teammates. Whew. Now that we have all that, the private fantasy league, there it is. It's called the Blockheads. That's the league code. Jump on, join the league, create your team. If we have enough people joining at a certain race, I'll actually show you different stages of who might be winning. So it's a bit unfair if we have some people starting from the start and some people starting from the middle and then counting the scores back from the start, because it's a disadvantage. So I will show, depending on how many people join and when you join from, I'll keep those records. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. So for Bahrain, first place in the fantasy league, Engine Blockheads, that's me. I had Hamilton, Norris, Sainz, Tsunoda, and Raikkonen with the turbo. He only had 12, so double that to 24. McLaren as the team for 164 points. Not too far off that maximum. Second place, we have... I saw the Sainz. That's my other team. Ricciardo with the turbo, getting 15, doubling that to 30. Vettel, Raikkonen, Russell, Verstappen, and Red Bull for a total of 152. So I'm taking out the top 2 places in our fantasy league. Come and challenge me. Please come and challenge me in the Fantasy Formula One League. Hamilton, the only other person who's actually joined the league and created a team. So please join the league. Give me more teams to talk about. Ricciardo, Gasly, Schumacher, Perez with the double, Bottas and McLaren. How does Perez get a turbo? He's a Red Bull driver. That sounds like a no-brainer. 145 for Hamilton in the Fantasy League, and I'll show you the standings from next week. Next race, I should say, Italy, Imola, 16th to 18th of April is where we're looking. Hamilton with 1 victory so far. And here we go. Imola Grand Prix, qualifying 2 p.m. April 17th, 2021. That's local time. That is when the teams are locked for the Imola Grand Prix. So, jump on Fantasy Formula One, create a team, join the league. There's going to be more where that came from. I'll have your statistics. I'll have the things that you can use to create your teams to try and get the biggest points haul that you can. That's my goal anyway. That's what I'm going to try and do. Oh, and you know what? That's meant to be the Imola track behind, not the Bahrain track. That's my bad. I'll fix that up for next week as well. Don't you worry about that. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Fox Blockhead. This was your Bahrain 2021 Fantasy Formula One review video. Thanks very much for watching. And until next time, see you later, alligators.